we're going into lecture number 4. And lecture number 4 is the reasons for starting up your own business. And the subtitle is the risks and the rewards of being in your own business. Now, I am going to try my hardest to persuade you not to come back to this course. I know that your facilitators are probably, and charities probably, horrified by what I've just said, but I want to try and persuade you not to come back to this training by pointing out the realities of the process of starting up your own business. Because you see, if we start up a business for the wrong reasons, we will not have the stickability to continue on in our business. Now, do you remember the video that I played you? And the video was on Jack Ma. Do you remember that? Jack Ma, and it was the rejection that Jack Ma had and all of the things that he had to go through to start up the business called Alibaba. And he pushed through continual rejection. He pushed through where people said it won't work. He pushed through when people said, forget about your idea. It's not going to fly. It's not going to work at all. You're wasting time. You're wasting money. Do things that are normal. And everybody was trying to discourage him. Even when he approached the funders to put in some money, the investors to put in some money, they all laughed at him and said, don't be stupid. We'll never fund this. We'll never give you money to start this. But his reason for starting the business was so strong that he pushed through all these barriers. So you've got to ask yourself, why do I want to start my own business? Look, you are taking a big risk in starting your own business. You see, there are no guarantees. So therefore, your reason to start needs to be very, very strong. So let's go into what are some of the reasons to start the business. But before we go into that, I need to say the following. Many people try to start businesses when they do not have the inner drive, the inner gifting, or the talents to do so. So let's take a look at the average South African person, okay? South Africa is a soccer crazy nation. Most of us in South Africa love soccer, and in some countries it's called football, okay? Now, I don't know much about the people of Rwanda or the people of Zambia, but in South Africa, so many people are in love with soccer or football. And you get so many people on a Saturday or a Sunday playing soccer or football, but there's very, 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 so Eli, you say same here in Rwanda, people love football, fantastic. And I guess by what you've written, Eli, there, that a lot of people would play it. So you'd have a lot of people, they may go down to the park and you get a bunch of people together and they're busy kicking a ball around. And then also, you'd have many teams that are playing one another in either formal leagues or informal leagues. But Rwanda, like South Africa, has a national team. You probably would also have a league where your top teams would play one another. Now, if you get, let's say, 100,000 or 1 million people who are playing football or playing soccer, why do most of them not get into the national team? It's because those people in the national team have an internal gifting and a talent to play football or to play soccer brilliantly, and therefore they are in the national team. But most of us kick a ball around, but we are, if we really are honest with ourselves, not we don't have the same talent as the top soccer players or the top football players. The same can be, so let me take an example from my own life. I play a musical instrument. I play a guitar. Now, the difference between me and a top musician is that I can strum a few chords on a guitar and I kind of know my way around the guitar. But if I had to be honest with myself, I'm not that good because I don't have the talent, the raw talent for music. And I came across a video of a 7-year-old girl, 7, who was practicing to play in an orchestra as the lead pianist in the orchestra at age 7, because she's so talented that she's able to pick up the instrument and play it at such an early age. And she's got this inbuilt talent for music. And a lot of us would enjoy music. There's nothing wrong with enjoying music, but we don't have the raw talent to make it into our own band that goes and makes a good few $1 million by selling their own music. So whereas a lot of us might play music, we're not really going to earn money from music because we don't have that raw talent inside. I mean, I had a friend. He's now moved away from South Africa, and this guy was such a talented musician that you could take any song and that he's never heard before and play it to him, and he'd sit there and he'd concentrate, and then he'd say, just play the song again. And you'd play the song again, give him no music, nothing in front of him. He just listens to the song. And he says, right, now let me play you the song. And he'd play exactly as it was recorded. I mean, that's raw talent. Now, likewise, there is a talent that some business people have. It's a knack to do business. And business people should have an inbuilt drive to start a business. So there are 2 categories in which these people fall. And unfortunately, in South Africa, we use the term entrepreneur. We use it wrongly because we call everybody that wants to start a business an entrepreneur. Now, that's not strictly true. The definition of an entrepreneur is someone with an extremely strong passion for business that starts up multiple businesses. So people like Richard Branson from Virgin, he is a true entrepreneur. Patrice Motsepe here in South Africa started up many businesses. He is a true entrepreneur. And there are others that we know of that start many businesses. Elon Musk, another South African guy that is the richest man in the world, starting up many businesses. So that's an entrepreneur. An enterprising person, on the other hand, is you and me. People who show a measure of interest in business and they start a business, generally speaking, they stick to that business for many years and only run one business. And that's good. I mean, it's good, but they're not really entrepreneurs. They're enterprising people. And it's important to understand your own motivation for wanting to go into a business. So we at DBSP drew up this diagram of the 4 sectors of society. And because you went through the entrepreneurial assessment, you would be pegged or you could be plotted somewhere on this scale, so to speak. So really, if you look at any community, it's only really 3% of that community that are really entrepreneurially inclined. It's only 3% that are what I call the true entrepreneurs. So Edna, you've put up your hand. Please come in if you'd like to. What would you like to say?
Hello, on the definition of an entrepreneur. So does that mean that if an individual only runs a single business, they can't be called an entrepreneur? Is that so?
Look, you know, the South Africans like to call anybody that is running a business an entrepreneur. I would like to say that that person is more enterprising than is an entrepreneur. But you know, I'm not going to win this argument because you know officially the way that the country looks at an entrepreneur is they say that anybody who starts a business. But what I'm trying to do, so maybe, you know, what might be a little bit more comfortable is a true entrepreneur or I don't know, a serial entrepreneur versus somebody that just starts one business. So those that are truly entrepreneurially minded will only 3% and will run many businesses. But thanks for that. Enterprising people, on the other hand, are people that, and there's about 22% of any society are enterprising people. Now, within this 22%, you get people that sit up here closer to the 3%, and you get people that sit down here closer to the 22%. And your scores in the entrepreneurial assessment, all of you fall within the 22%, and some of you fall closer to the lower side, the lower bracket of the 15%, closer to the 15% rather, and some of you are closer to the 3%. So all of you have a measure of entrepreneurial inclination. And by the way, we will not take people if they don't fit into this 25%, the 22 plus the 3% onto the training. Under that are a group of people that we've termed opportunists. Now, don't get wrong. Don't get confused with opportunity. Okay, it's a different word. Opportunists are people like chance takers. And they are generally people that would start up a business, but if something better comes along, they jump up, they close the business, they run away from business, and they go into formal employment, into a job. So an opportunist is someone that wants to generally make quick money. So I would like to suggest that your criminal element sits in the 15%. So, you know, a criminal is someone that would see a cell phone lying on a counter, and they will grab that cell phone and rush to a shop to sell the cell phone or sell it to somebody else very quickly to make quick money. They don't want to wait 30 days to get their salary like in an employed person, but also they don't want the risk and of you know, going with a business and trying to make it work and that type of thing. They want quick money. They want to steal, they want to sell, and they want quick money. So that's an opportunist. And I'd also like to say that that most people in the drug industry are in the 15% as well. Then you get the 60%, and the 60% are just want a job. That's all they want. They just need to find somebody who can employ me, who can give me a job, and I am very happy to accept that job and to receive a monthly payment or a weekly payment or whatever the case may be for my services. Now, you know what job stands for, don't you? I'll just put some writing here. So J, oh, let me just put it over here rather. J, wait, come. O-B, job. So J-O-B stands for, J stands for just, okay. O stands for over, and the B stands for broke. So just over broke are what job stands for. No, that's only kidding. That was only a joke. Okay. So so those that just want employment, 60%, opportunists 15%, enterprising people 22%, true entrepreneur 3%. That makes up 100%. So now just think about this quite interestingly. If you take 22 plus 3, it's 25%. 25% is a quarter, right? So if we as entrepreneurs just employ 3 people, so if we could find all the enterprising and entrepreneurial people in South Africa, train them to start a run a business well, and have them employ 3 people, we have killed poverty. Think about that. And that could be in Rwanda, or it could be in Zambia. Okay, so that's just something for you to bear in mind. All right, now, the question that I ask you is, why do you want to be in your own business? All right, now maybe some of you could just type. So I'm going to give you a minute, and I'd like you to take a piece of paper, and I'd like you to write, why am I in my own business? So just write on your piece of paper alone, why am I wanting to go into my own business? Why am I wanting to go into my own business? Write up on a piece of paper. By the way, the reason that I have actually asked you that question and asked you to write it down is so that you can look back upon it in the years to come and say, well, wow, this is the reason I wanted to be in my business. Okay, so who can share with me, what are some of the reasons that you want to be in your own business? So Ellie says to be my own boss, to raise money, and to employ many. Good, Ellie, love that. Okay, who else? One about 5 or 6 people.
I'm from Rwanda.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead, yes.
Why you want to learn the business to why? Because of I really want to the villagers or my community to have what they need, because of some of them they need something and it's very far from them. That's why I must bring them the things to very close to them, and they must find them very closely.
All right, so that you can help
to have a business.
Yeah, so you can help your community to get what they need.
Yeah.
Or what. Okay, that's brilliant. Okay, good.
Sure. And yeah, in the even it's not only to help my village. And when I'm helping my community, it's like how also I'm making the money.
Yes. Oh, I think we've got a couple of communication things there. But type in the chat box, everybody, why you want to start your own business.
Yeah. That is the reason.
All right, excellent. You were breaking up a lot there, but we got what you were saying. Thank you very much. Okay. So either Holly or Slee or Brian writes, well, for me, I saw a need in the community of a business opportunity, and I grab it. people will go far to higher, then I just make their lives easier. I also create opportunities for the youth in my community. Okay, good. More of you. If somebody is here from Zambia, I'd like to hear from you. I'd like to hear from KZN. I'd like, sorry, Collie and Steve are from KZN. I'd like to hear from Paul. I'd like to hear from Kraaifontein. Why are you looking to go into your own business? What are your reasons? Okay, let's ask somebody from Timberletu. Why do you want to go into your own business? Maybe somebody from Masoy can tell us why they want to go in their own business. Paul, somebody from Paul, why do you want to be in your own business? Come, people, let's have some participation here, not the usual ones. Somebody from Timberletu? Somebody from Paul, why do you want to be in your own business? Somebody from Soy? Yes, there, yeah.
Yeah. I wanted it because I want to be independent.
Okay, you want to be independent?
Yeah. That's all.
Okay, all right. Okay, good, good. All right. Chesney writes financial freedom, unlimited opportunity, be your own boss, and determine your own income. All right. Good, good, good. Timberletu, somebody from Timberletu? All right, Precious writes, I want to make money while helping to solve problem in society, create job opportunities for youth, and to take part in alleviating poverty. Somebody from KZN, to do things at my own pace without any pressure. That's Holly, Slee, and Brian again. All right, so there are, yes, go ahead.
We're not I think we're not only helping the young peoples, I mean the youth, because of what will be happening when old people who have like 60 years, when they come to you and he needs some advisors. I think we really want to help the youth, but when you get anyone who wants to advise us, you can help them, I think.
Okay, good, good. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Yeah, we certainly do need to help the youth and also to help others as well. And somebody from the Masoy group writes to end poverty in my community and the whole city.
Yeah, the reason why I said this it's because of like in our community where we was born, where we live, many people, they don't know to lead, they don't know what is going on outside. That's why we can help the young generation, and also if there are any old people who really want some advice, we can help them.
Right. Yeah. Great. Great. Well, thank you so much for that. Thank you for
Thank
so
you.
much
Welcome.
for that. Great, excellent. Then other reasons are to explore my own ideas of vision, trying to innovate levels, starting to practice my leadership and my ideas. Edna writes, I want to be independent, pave the way for myself to do more and grow and not to be restricted to one business. So all of these are very, very, very good reasons. Okay, so there are actually 8 reasons why you want to start your own business. So here are the 8 reasons: to make my own money, as a number of you have said; to gain independence, in other words, to be your own boss; to use your creativity and talents, as somebody said, because you spotted a good opportunity, yes, as others have said as well, and to do something you really enjoy. Then, to escape from a boring or an unsatisfied job. The next one is because you were retrenched or lost your job. And the final one is because you cannot find work or a job. So there are 8 reasons. Now you will notice that there are those that are in blue, the first A, B, C, D, E, and those that are in red, F, G, and H. This is because they both fall, or that they fall into 2 categories called pull factors and push factors. So A to E are called pull factors, and pull factors are positive and internal to you. In other words, driven from inside of you. So let's have a look at those. So to make your own money, positive, right? It comes from within. I want to make my own money. The next one is I want to be independent. That is that is something that you desire. I want to be independent. By the way, a lot of you said, I want to create jobs for others. I want to end poverty. That's something that you would like to do. It comes from within you. It comes from your own desires. To be creative and to use your talents within, comes from within, because you spotted a business opportunity with your own eyes, or you were listening to what your community said. It's something that drives you from within and to do something you really enjoy. But if you look at these ones, the F, G, and H, they are all something that is put on you. Okay, I'm retrenched. I've lost my job. I have been laid off. I need to find other work. It's an external influence that was pushed upon you. Somebody, you had a job and somebody said the job is over because you cannot find work. You're looking for something, but it's not really, it's something that was outside of you being pushed on you. Oh, I need to make money, so therefore let me try and find a job. Or you were bored or unsatisfied with your job, so you left your job. So push factors are negative and generally external. So you see the difference between the 2 lists: internal and positive, negative and generally external. So we need to be driven by pull factors. Now, when I look at what you guys said and what you wrote here, I'm seeing pull factors, pull factors, pull factors. Nobody wrote because I cannot find a job. Nobody wrote because I lost a job. Nobody wrote because I was bored at work and decided to do something else. So all of you, I'm glad to say, who wrote were all pull factor orientated, positive and internal. And that's what you need to be to start and to run your own business. Okay, any questions or comments on that? All right, Holly, Wesley O'Brien, you raised your hand.
Okay, Mr. Chris, can you please, okay. repeat again the difference between the two? Because I'm lost somehow.
All right.
Between
Okay.
Yes.
So thank you for that, Holly, and thank you for your boldness to say I'm lost somehow. This is very important, my dear people. If you don't get everything that I'm saying and it doesn't make sense to you, be bold like Holly and say, could you please re-explain that? You'll find that I'm a very patient person, and so I don't mind explaining things a good few times. So when you look at this list on A to E, these are things that you are, it is a desire that comes from within you. So let's just look at some of them in our chat box. I want to make money. I want to help solve problems in society. I want to create jobs. I want to be part of alleviating poverty. I want to do things at my own pace without pressure. I want to explore new ideas and new visions. I want to try to be innovative, practice my leadership skills. I want to be independent, paving the way for myself. You see how they all talk about I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do that. These are something that come from inside of you. And that's why I say pull factors are internal. They come from inside of you, and all of them are positive. All of the comments that I read out were positive. So that's why positive pull factors are positive and internal. They like pull you into the business. They like pull you to start something. It is a desire within. Push factors, on the other hand, are generally because of the circumstance that you find yourself in. I can't find a job. So maybe I should start a business. Oh, I've been looking for so long. I can't. I'd love it if somebody could give me employment, but I can't find a job. So therefore, you're pushed into starting a business through circumstances. There's no excitement there. There's no kind of, yes, I really want to do this. I want to solve the world's problems. I want to, make an impact in my community. You are kind of, it's all so orientated towards self. I can't find a job. I was retrenched or laid off. I am not enjoying what I'm doing. So let me go into business. So the one is exciting and motivating, and the other is, oh, well, there's nothing left. I suppose I better start a business. Now that's called a push factor. Now, if you are going into business with that attitude, you're not going to make it. There's a saying that says, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. When the going gets tough, the tough get going. And you need to have a bit of that in you. Because if you don't have that in you, you're going to say, oh, things are so tough, let me give up. Oh, there's a little bit of opposition. I started a business. I was selling sweets and chips and popcorn and then my neighbor started. Oh, I have to give up because I can't compete with my neighbor. So those are all push factors that push you into the business. No excitement. Does that help you, Holly? Does that help you to understand more of push factors and pull factors? Holly, does that help you? She says, thank you. Fully understand. Great. Okay, good. All right. So now we've understood our motivation to go into our own business. I need now to share with you some of the risks. And I have to, if I don't share the risks with you, I'm not doing my job properly. So the risks fall into 4 categories. The first category is a financial risk. You need to understand that when you go into your business, nothing is certain. You cannot say I'm definitely going to be making money. You don't know that. So, let's just take a situation which we are all very, very, very familiar with. COVID-19. Now, our government here in South Africa locked the country down and stopped people from leaving their houses. And many, many, many businesses failed because of an external factor like COVID-19 coming on them and destroying their business. Another destroyer of businesses is our power supplier here, Eskom, which cannot supply regular power to the business. And so often businesses will fail because of that. Now, when a business fails, you can't just now go and suddenly get your money back. When your money's gone, your money's gone. And you need to understand that this is a risk that you're going to have to take. There's no guarantees that your business will work. There's no guarantees that there'll be another COVID-19 type of thing. In one of the areas in our country, KwaZulu-Natal, there was rioting. The people were very angry about a certain circumstance that I don't want to go into right now. And so they started rioting and looting and destroying. And if that's your business and your business was in the firing line, so to speak, and they came and they looted and they destroyed, you lose everything. You lose your money. You lose your livelihood. You lose, and it's very difficult. Let's say that you've built your business and you slowly built it, and now it's you've got enough stock but all your money is tied up and invested in the business. If somebody breaks in and loots, if somebody destroys, you've lost it all. You've got to start from the beginning again. You've got to start from ground zero. You've got to start from right at the very beginning, scraping together your next 100 Rand or whatever money you can scrape together to start your business. So you need to be fully understanding that you are taking a risk. Now, there are two types of risk. There's what we call a calculated risk and an uncalculated risk. Now, what a calculated risk is when you do the research to give your business the best opportunity to work. So you go out, you do a lot of research, you go out, you find out a lot of information, you ask a lot of people, and we're going to be covering research and how to do research in the next module. But there are the more research that you do, and the more that you are certain that people will want your product, people need your product, or your product solves a problem, and they're willing and able to pay, the more chance you have of your business being a success. But if you have just gone and bought a product and you're trying to sell that into your community, and where there's no need or no want, or it's not solving a problem, you are taking a huge risk. So the one calculated risk means that you've done a lot of research and all the signs are pointing to you that you're going to have a good business. But if you don't do that research and you just buy a product and hope to sell it in your community, you are taking an uncalculated risk, which is a very high risk. And I remember there was a guy that I trained about 2 to 3 years ago, and he decided for his money making, he decided to buy ice cream and to sell ice cream. The only thing that he did not take into account was the season that he bought ice cream was going into winter, and nobody wanted to buy ice cream in winter. And he took an uncalculated risk and ended up losing all of his money because he did not think clearly enough. And so, and he was very sad at the end of the program because he didn't make any money at all. In fact, he ended up owing money. And so that is the risk that he took. Okay, so that's financial. You need to understand that there is a financial risk. Okay, moving on. The second risk is career. So if you studied in a certain line, say you've studied to be a doctor, or you've studied to be a teacher, or you've studied to be something in computers or something like that, and you decide to leave that to actually start a business. If the business doesn't work and you try to get it back into that career, it is very, very, very difficult because, you know, like teaching, let's say you left teaching for 10 years, what they're teaching now, 10 years ago, they weren't teaching those things. So your information is out of date. And so you can be sacrificing your career by going into a business. The next one is family and social. Now, you have to understand that a business will put strain on your family and your friends and on your social life. What do I mean by that? Let's say that you're in a sewing business. Okay, you're making clothing, and you get this big order. Wow, you are really excited and really, you know, I'm going to make a lot of money here, and you are going to make a lot of money. But they say in order for you to, in order for us to pay you, you need to have produced all of this product and given it to us, all of the school uniforms, whatever the case may be, by the end of the month. Okay, now you've got a very important family gathering, or you've got a social event with your friends that is planned. You may have to give that up. You may have to say, you know what, I'm running behind in my production. I cannot come to your party. I cannot come to the family function. And your family will not understand that. Now, listen very closely. If you hear nothing else that I'm going to say today, this is important for you. So listen, listen, listen. Most of you, in fact, all of you are young people, okay? And most of you would be unmarried at this stage in your life. I take it that most of you would like to find a life partner and to get married. Now, bit of advice. Marry somebody who is entrepreneurially inclined or enterprising. Because if you marry the wrong person, they will not understand when you have to work late hours, you have to work over weekends, and it will cause a major problem in your marriage. Okay, so find an entrepreneurially inclined or an enterprising person and marry that person, because then you will understand together the sacrifices that you have to make. Because let me tell you, my dear people, you are going to have to make sacrifices. You're going to have to sacrifice your time. You're going to have to work late into the night. I mean, I remember when I had my catering business, I used to work sometimes the whole weekend through, not sleeping, because I had a function that I needed to prepare for. Let's say it was on Sunday, and I needed to have everything ready by Sunday. And so I would go through the night just preparing food and getting things ready for the function. Because if it is a success, you're going to generate more money from it. If it is a disaster and a failure, people are not going to use you again. So business is going to put, not might, not could, not possibly, it is going to put strain on your family and social life. Now, let me talk about another factor here. Be aware, and I'll mention this again and again, be aware of employing family and friends. Be aware of going into business with a business partner who is a family member or a friend, because it can cause major division in your relationship. I have a friend of mine who is in Johannesburg, has a love-hate relationship with his brother. This is a Christian guy, loves the Lord Jesus, is fully committed, but hates his brother. Why? Because his physical brother, his flesh and blood, because they are in business together, and he sees the business going this way, his brother sees it going that way, and that they actually had to, they actually ended up actually separating and starting two competing businesses. This is their brothers, and they don't get on with each other. So, and also, if you employ somebody, very easy to employ a family member, but when they start their nonsense and they start stealing from you and they start loafing and not working as hard as you want them to do, very hard to discipline them. Very hard to say, look, you're not working well, and I'm afraid I'm going to have to fire you. Very, very hard. So just be very careful. You need to go into your business with your eyes wide open, that you are going to be risking your money. You are going to be risking your career. You are going to be risking your family and social life. And your friends are not going to understand. Oh, but you're such a spoiled sport. You never come to our parties anymore. You're always focused on business, 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 business. And they're not going to understand. And they're going to start shutting you out because you're not cool anymore to them. Okay, so just realize that is a problem. All right, any comments or anybody like to share a story about family and social or financial risk? All right, I'm not seeing anybody raise a hand or unmute or anything. So let's move on to the next one, psychological. Now, business is a roller coaster ride. It's up, it's down. It's not for the faint-hearted, You are going to be so excited at some stage. You are going to be so depressed at other stage. So let's say that somebody phones you the one day and says, you know what, I'd like to give you this order, and I'd like to order 25, 30 of your product. Yay! Wow, this is really great, really exciting. And so you make plans and you start to inform your suppliers and you start to get things ready to go and buy those products so your customers can have those products. And then 2 days later, they phone up and they say, I'm sorry, I have to cancel the order. Things didn't work out my side. And you will sink into the depths of depression. Oh my goodness, I'm so sad now. They canceled my order. And so business is up and down. Your emotions are the up and down and up and down. And you need to be aware of this. Now, I need to say the following, and I hope and pray that I never hear a story about one of you taking your own lives, committing suicide because you got so depressed because your business didn't work and you lost your money and all of that. And it's happened so often. It's happened where people, a man with his wife and children ends up killing his wife and children and then himself because of the pressures of their own business, and it wasn't working and he felt like a failure and this type of thing. This is just part of the territory, my dear people. And this is why I'd like to suggest, listen up very closely. I'd like to suggest, the WhatsApp group that we've got going, you keep it going long after the training is finished, because when you are depressed and things are not working, reach out to somebody. Don't wallow in your depression. It's also nice to share our success stories. Wow, this is what happened to me and I'm so excited and that. It's good. It's good because something like that can motivate another person. But be very aware that you are going to start a roller coaster up and down, up and down, up and down. And you are going to need the help and support of others. So Ellie writes, what did you say about career? I'm saying, Eddie, that in career, if you've studied in a certain line, let's say you became say you were a computer programmer or something like that, and then you left to start a business doing what, and you tried to, say you were in that business for 4 years or 5 years, and you tried to get back into the world of computer programming, it's moved on. And so you'll literally be sacrificing your career, and you have to go back to school and study a lot. So Holly or Slee or Brian writes, he said that, and let's say you did or studied teaching and you left and you decide to start a business, and along the way it doesn't work, and you want to go back to teaching after 10 years, things won't be the same. That's exactly right. That's exactly what I did say. So well done for saying that. All right. So anybody like to come in here about the risks of business? Okay, somebody unmuted. Please share what you're going to say. All right, there's
Okay. I would like to share a story with
Go
regards
ahead.
to hiring a friend or a family member. Well, a year ago, I started a food business whereby I cook and then I do a mobile selling. So I had a friend because I was doing the course, which was the facilitation course, the one that I'm doing now.
Huh?
And now, because I'm at work, so I had to hire somebody to look after my business. So I had a friend, and every time when I come from work, I'll find them drinking with the money that they had received from the customers.
Ooh.
So from there, we don't see eye to eye. So now I've learned my lesson.
And I bet that ruined your friendship, right?
Yes, it did.
Yeah, you're no longer friends with that person. Yeah.
No, we are.
Yeah, so there's a practical case of somebody who, Holly, who sacrificed a friendship because the person started to act weird and started to drink all the money away that they're making on their product. So yeah, it's thank you for that. That's very important. All right, it's 10:30. I would like to just finish the rewards of business. So it'll take me about another 10 minutes, and then I'm going to send you on your break. So just bear with me, please. So now that we've covered the risks of starting up a business, and maybe you're a little bit depressed, let me get to the rewards of starting up a business. So there are 4 rewards, generally, probably more than this. So the first reward is financial reward. Generally, you can make more money in your own business than you can working for somebody else. So that's fantastic. So it's something to look forward to. You can generally make more money. Secondly, is you can be independent. You are master or mistress of your own life, your own destiny. You control your own time, what you do, what you say, what you tell others. So in my life, generally speaking, myself and my wife, we don't start our day in before 10 o'clock in the morning. The only exception is this class where we start at 9. And so we decide when we want to get up, because both of us work for either a very small business or work for ourselves, and we are independent. We can do what we want. My wife works for a cooperative financial institution. She's the manager of it, and as long as she gets her work done, people don't care if you do your work between 3 and 4 in the morning. It's fine. But so she's totally independent, and we enjoy our own independence, and we not have people sitting on our back telling us what to do. So you can do things your way. You can be creative the way you want to be creative. You can develop the products that you want as long as there's meeting a need, want, or solving a problem. And then there's a sense of achievement. Wow, look what I did. Look what I achieved. Look what I accomplished. And so there's always a sense of achievement. And I must be honest, let me tell you a little bit about me. I'm not a fat cat guy that's got tons of money and living the high life and driving this really, really fancy car and got plenty of money to spend and go out to restaurants every night and that. I'm not that guy, because in fact, sometimes I have a difficulty paying my own bills and paying my own expenses. But for me, what drives me is not money. I'm not money driven. For me, sense of achievement is huge. So what is my sense of achievement? Knowing that you guys are, your lives are better, you are starting businesses, and you are achieving in your lives, and that to me is much more important than money. Yes, I do earn money, which is good, but for me, it's sense of achievement. And then I'm also creative. I can do things the way I want to. I'm independent. As I said, the last time I earned a salary and people paid me when I was on the payroll of something was about 35 years ago. So, for me, the rewards of starting up a business far outweigh the risks of starting up a business. And so, these are things that you can be excited about yourselves. Financially, you can do well. You'll be independent, freedom to be creative, a sense of achievement. But I'd also like to bring in a couple more that you guys said when you typed your reasons for going into business. It's to be an employer, to provide jobs for others, you've spotted a great idea. And so that could be some of the rewards of going into your business, knowing that you've been able to help out other families by employing some member of the community to help you. So, yeah. So those are the rewards of starting up a business. Any questions or comments before I go and summarize the lecture? And then once I've summarized the lecture, I will we'll go and have our tea break. So anybody? All right, so let me summarize lecture 4, reasons for starting your own business, including the risks and the rewards. And the first we looked at was this little pyramid thing, and with the sectors of society: 3% entrepreneurially inclined, 22% enterprising, 15% opportunist, 60% just want a job. Then we looked at the reasons that you wanted to go into your business, and there were 8 reasons that were positive and internal, and there were 3 reasons that were negative and external. Then we looked at the risks of starting your business, that there is a financial risk, there's a career risk, there's a family and social risk, and there's a psychological risk. So those are the risks that you're going to have to take, but then there are the rewards of starting up a business. You can make more money generally by starting up your own business. You're independent, you are free to be creative, and a sense of achievement, and the opportunity to help others.